Okay, welcome everyone to the November 2025 TDL Member Forum. I'm Christy Park, and I am the Executive Director of the Texas Digital Library. As we gather today, we'll start as we usually do by acknowledging the physical places from which we're joining. All of us, I think, located on the indigenous lands of Turtle Island, the ancestral name of what is now called North America. I'm joining from Austin, where the Tonkawa were among the traditional stewards of the land. I invite you to share your own land acknowledgements in chat if you'd like to, and we'll share a link about learning about um, the indigenous peoples in your area. So I'm joined today by Kiera Hunt, our communications and member engagement coordinator. Courtney Muma is not with us today. She is attending the final day of the DLF forum, as I'm sure many of your colleagues are as well. So she's not with us. I'm gonna sub for her on some of her updates. And we also have a special guest, Isabel Antes from Texas State University, who's going to give us some updates on the work of the TDL OER users group today. She is that group's chair currently. So welcome and thank you, Isabel. All right, starting with just a couple of updates from me at the start. I wanted to start with just highlighting a project that recently concluded and that we're highlighting on our website through a blog post. This was our digital preservation peer audit and assessment pilot program. So through this program, Texas Woman University's Kristen Clark led some member peers from UT San Antonio and Sam Houston State through several months of shared assessment tasks, culminating in some clear objectives for their respective digital preservation programs. The pilot team worked from January through September of this year, supporting each other as they interrogated digital preservation elements of their organization, staff and resources, policy infrastructure, processes, workflows, and technological resources. And I think they found, despite their differing program sizes and approaches to digital preservation, that they were able to offer each other a lot of support and insight throughout the process. And we are really grateful to the participants from the UTSA Digital Collections Functional Unit. We want to thank Daniela Flores, digital archivist, Graham Martin, who's an AV archivist, and Vic Rocha, digital collections specialist. And then from San Houston State, Michelle McCrary, head of digital initiatives, and Rebecca Ritchie, a digital project specialist. So this was a really great project. And based on the feedback from the pilot partners, we've renamed this effort as peer assisted audit and assessment and made some other adjustments, and we're getting ready for another round next year. So Courtney Muma will be working with our peer guide volunteers for this round, who will be Daniela from UTSA and Michelle from Sam Houston State, and some new partners, some new peer partners beginning in early 2026. So we're in the process of establishing that cohort for the next iteration, and we'll be sharing more about that soon. But if you're interested in participating in a future audit, because we want to keep this going, please reach out to Courtney and definitely check out the blog post about the pilot in chat to learn more. I also just wanted to let you know about a new initiative starting this fall, that we have started this fall, to develop a member group leadership development program for folks who are chairing or on the leadership team for our users groups and interest groups. As you know, our member groups program is core to our mission to build capacity among our members for ensuring equitable access to and preservation of digital content. TDL is very appreciative of the efforts of the chairs and vice chairs who lead and facilitate these groups. So our goal with this program is just to make sure that those leaders have the tools they need to feel successful and feel supported in their roles, maybe to learn something new along the way. So we held our inaugural orientation session last week on November 12th. We'll be doing that twice a year, once in the fall, once in the spring, as new leaders rotate into their roles. And we're also inviting those leaders to attend quarterly office hour sessions with TDL staff, which will be informal, unstructured times to ask questions and get help and share what's going on in their working groups and identify potential areas of collaboration and anything else that group leaders want to discuss with us and with each other. So we're excited about getting that started. We'll be this is obviously an iterative process, and we'll be um, updating this program as we go based on the feedback we receive from participants. Next, we'll move into our services and projects updates. And as I mentioned, we'll start this today with our update from Isabel Antis. She is the Open Educational Resource Librarian at Texas State University and is going to be just giving a brief update on the work of our OER users group, which is a core component of our OER support services. So I'll hand it over to Isabel.
Thank you, Christy. I do have to hop off right at 11 to run to another meeting. So any questions can be directed to my email. They'll get added to chat here in a minute. But our OER user group has been excited and meeting frequently over the past few months. I've become the chair in the early of the fall semester, and Jennifer Pate, who is also on our call today, is our vice chair. She's the Open Education Director for A&M College Station. Our current meeting time is the second Tuesday of the month at 3 p.m. That is an update. So if you've had a previous invitation or calendar invitation, it is a different day and time. But we welcome everyone to join for those who may be interested in using OER or have been asked about OER in your role or serve in a full capacity as an OER librarian or specialist, for example. We would love for y'all to join our session and just say hello to other users around the state. It's been really great to see people have some moments for community building in general. The other updates from our group is we have some newly developed resources that we created this fall. So the OER Gems Forum is a way for our community to share OER that stood out to them asynchronously between meetings. And it's one way to facilitate the discovery for OER in general when this might be a portion of a job or a role, for example. We've also created an OER users group matchmaking sheet. This extends to a variety of activities. It's based on the OEM's scholarship matchmaking spreadsheet. So if you've seen both of those, they do look familiar. They're CC licensed, as an OER user group would want to use. But essentially, it's a way for us to connect people who want to have events, scholarship activities, articles, service in general, to connect our users more successfully in general within our group and across other user groups as well. But again, feel free to ask any questions, pop into any meetings. We would love to have y'all there. And feel free to share with your colleagues as well. Thank you, and I'll toss it back to Christy.
All right, thanks, Isabel, and thank you for your leadership of the OER users group. You and Jen doing a fantastic job, and it's a really active and engaged group doing great work in service of open education at their institutions, and so it's open to members of TDL. So if you're a member of TDL and you want to participate, we really encourage you to attend those meetings and get involved. Okay, I'm going to move on to just a quick digital preservation, or I'm sorry, digital repositories update, just to follow up on last month's update to say that we have completed upgrades to all of our hosted repositories to DSpace 8.2 or 8.2 plus. There were a couple of other little things that we brought in to that upgrade, and things are going pretty smoothly there. But if you have any issues or questions, please feel free to contact us at the help desk, support@tdl.org. Okay, and now I'm going to move into some updates for some of Courtney's services, starting with TextHub and our Digital Public Library of America aggregation service. And happy to say that after the October harvest, our fall harvest of content, we have added nearly 155,000 items in the Texas hub of DPLA coming from TDL members. We've come a long way in just a couple short years, and we're grateful to our TDL partners at Houston Public Library, SMU, Texas Women's, UT San Antonio, UT Southwest Med, Rice, UT Dallas, and Baylor for contributing to the Text Hub from their really rich and enriching collections. You can visit texas.dp.la to see what the Text Hub has to offer. And just a reminder that hub includes both the items that we're harvesting as part of the TDL side of things and the items that are contributed from the Portal to Texas History at UNT, which is another component of Text Hub. So it's a really fantastic collection of resources from across Texas institutions. Next up, a Vireo update. Our tech lead, Frank Smutniak, has been updating our hosted Vireo instances over the last couple of weeks based on a recent development sprint, and will complete that work this week. So if your Vireo hasn't been upgraded yet, it will be this week. This is a minor patch version upgrade that addresses some kind of irritating export bugs and a couple of security issues. It includes an important security patch to the Tomcat embed core library. Also, a reminder that if you have not filled out the 2025 Vireo Users Group survey, please consider doing that. We'll put a link in chat. It is a very short survey, and the information is really valuable to the Vireo Users Group steering committee and the development team. And it's a great opportunity for you to give some input that will affect the future of Vireo. So definitely take that if you're a Vireo user. Next up, digital preservation, or a little more about digital preservation work that's ongoing. We have a digital preservation transformation task force, as you know, that's continuing to meet. It has met recently with representatives from LOCKSS, the Academic Preservation Trust, and Portico to help develop its recommendations for the TDL membership and boards by the end of the year. And in their meeting this coming Friday, they'll be reflecting on those conversations and thinking about next steps for the work that they're doing. Additionally, several TDL members and our DuraCloud developer, Nick Woodward, have been participating in some user testing of the new Lyrasis DuraCloud prototype. So those tests are also informing the work of the task force and our plans for moving forward with our digital preservation services. And finally, before we get into community updates, big thank you to the TDR Larger Data Subcommittee of the TDR Steering Committee. We've made a lot of progress towards a set of solutions for accommodating data sets above 50 gigs using the Texas Data Repository and the Dataverse instance that we host. The solutions that we're developing are centered around two concepts. One is tax storage using an S3 endpoint for data collection up to 2 to 3 terabytes. And then the second component is remote storage for larger data collections. There are workflow and storage implications for each option that TDL, TAC, and the larger data subcommittee are working right now to define as part of a service model. And we look forward to launching this service next year as we get those components refined. Additionally, so that's work with the larger data, the efforts to support larger data in TDR. In addition to that, we have a core Notify project ongoing with a subcommittee of the TDR steering committee. They have reviewed a demonstration of the bilateral connection between DSpace items, publications in DSpace, and datasets in Dataverse. And our contracted developer, Jim Myers, is integrating the feedback from our subcommittee, supported by our DSpace tech lead, Nick Woodward, and Frank Smutniak, our Dataverse lead. So that work is ongoing and has a lot of moving parts. We hope to have a final product to implement in TDL systems by early 2026. So more to come on that. And I think that that's it for me for now. So I'll hand it over to Kiera to walk us through some community updates.
Thank you, Christy. Hello, everyone. I'm excited to share all of our community updates with you all. First, I'm excited to share on behalf of co-chairs Shannon Willis from Texas State University and Lauren Coe from University of North Texas that the Web Archiving Texas Interest Group is back. So Web Archiving Texas aims to build a community around web archiving in the region to share resources, skills, and knowledge. If you are seeking a network of colleagues with whom to share your web archiving successes, challenges, and questions, we would love to have you join us. And we will share the link in the chat with the group's wiki information. And we'll also have the link to our TDL community workspace where the Web Archiving Texas has a Slack channel as well. If you do have any questions about the Web Archiving Texas interest group, you can email Shannon Willis and we'll include her email in the chat. Next, we have some more great news, and you all have probably already seen the email, but the call for proposals for the 2026 Texas Conference on Digital Libraries, or TCDL, is open. This year's theme is all about finding joy through our work, and we invite you to submit your most creative and innovative ideas. We're also excited to introduce a new optional short paper format this year, and you can see all the details about that on the Call for Proposals webpage. If you want to learn more about the proposal submission process or you have any questions, you can join us at our virtual proposal information session on Monday, December 15th from 3 to 4:30 Central Time. Registration is required. So please help us spread the word to friends and colleagues at your institutions. Please be sure to ask us any questions about the proposals. The deadline is February 2nd, 2026. And we have all the links and details in chat for you all. Next, I'm also pleased to announce that the call for nominations for the 2026 TDL Awards is also open. The annual TDL Awards are a wonderful opportunity to recognize the incredible work of individuals, projects, and groups across Texas who have made outstanding contributions to the advancement of digital libraries. An affiliation with TDL member institution is not a requirement for most of our award categories, so please consider nominating deserving colleagues across the state. We encourage you to think about the innovative, the collaborative, and impactful digital library projects you've seen over the past year. Nominating a colleague or a project is a great way to celebrate the creativity and expertise within our community. And you can even nominate yourself, so that's an option for your own projects. And we're looking forward to seeing this year's submissions. So get those in before the deadline of February 9th, 2026. And all the details are also in chat for you all. And speaking of TCDL and the TDL Awards subcommittee, I want to take a moment to give a huge shout out to the incredible volunteers of our planning committee. Their dedication and hard work have been instrumental in getting both the call for proposals and the call for awards nominations open. And we are so grateful for their time and their efforts. We recently published a blog post introducing this amazing group, and you can learn more about the folks who were highlighted, but also we listed the entire committee so you can reach out to them as well and meet them. So please take a look at the blog post and we'll include that link in the chat. Next, the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board has launched a call for proposals for the 4th Annual Digital Learning Summit. This is a fantastic virtual event for leaders and educators across the state to connect. The theme this year is the power of practice, is a perfect fit for the work happening here at the TDL community. The deadline for proposals is Friday, November 14th. That already passed. Sorry about that, everyone. So the deadline proposal has already passed. So you can learn more about the conference in the link in the chat. Apologies about that deadline. Alrighty, so the next call for proposals opportunity is the Library Publishing Coalition. They're looking for submissions for its 2026 forum in Seattle, where they are actively encouraging collaborative presentations from multiple institutions. This is a fantastic chance to partner with colleagues, both within TDL and beyond, to showcase our innovative library publishing efforts. The deadline for proposals is Friday, December 12th, 2025, and we'll have that CFP link in chat for you. So we have more call for proposals information. There are so many awesome opportunities to share your work. And next up, we have the International Association for Social Science Information Services and Technology, or IASSIST. They're hosting their 2026 conference online from June 2nd to the 5th, 2026. And the theme is Championing Data Professionals at Nexus, which explores the vital role of data professionals in today's world, from data collection to ethics and advocacy. So the call for proposals is open. And I do want to note, for those of you planning to submit a proposal for TCDL, you also have this fantastic opportunity to share your expertise even further. The dates do overlap by one extra day. So presenting at either is a fantastic way to showcase your research to two distinct audiences and valuable communities. Just for your planning purposes, there are different deadlines for the proposal. So for IASSIST, the deadline is December 19th. And then for TCDL, the deadline is February 2nd. And we do have links for IASSIST proposals information in chat. Next up, here are more upcoming meetings and events happening at TDL. These meetings and events are free and open to anyone, and you're always welcome to invite your campus partners and non-TDL member colleagues in your network to join us. So first up, we have the DSpace Users Group meeting on November 24th from 3 to 4 p.m. And then we have the Open Knowledge Access Interest Group meeting on December 3rd at 2 p.m. The OJS Users Group meeting is on December 4th at 10 a.m. The OER Users Group meeting is on December 10th at 3 p.m. And the GIS Interest Group meeting has been rescheduled to December 12th at 2 p.m. And the Web Archiving Texas Interest Group, launching all the way into January, it's on January 28th, 2026 at 2 p.m. We have the link to the TDL events in chat, so you can see our calendar of all of our exciting meetings and events that are coming up. Next, you can check out the latest TDL announcements for upcoming meetings, events, and programs on our social media channels and in our bi-monthly email newsletter and announcements listserv. We'll have the link to our Get Involved page in the chat, where you can connect with TDL on all of our different platforms. And I do want to note that we do have an upcoming holiday newsletter coming up pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. If you would like to contribute news, announcements, project updates, or other content to an upcoming issue of the newsletter or even the forum, we do want to hear from you. So you can email us at info@tdl.org with all of your ideas, and we can let you know how you can share with our community. We'll share a link to our TDL Forum wiki page with details about how you can plan out any updates you want to share. And I think that's it for me for community updates. So I will hand things back over to Christy. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thanks, Kira. Thanks, everybody, and thanks, Isabel, too. I know she had to drop off, but we do have a little bit of time here at the end for questions, if you have any. While you get your questions ready, I'll just remind you that we have our TDL suggestion box, which you can use if you have feedback or suggestions that you'd rather put in a anonymous message, and we'll try to address those in an appropriate way. I'll pause for just a few seconds here to see if there are any questions from the group today.
Hi, Christy. So I don't really have a question about TDL, but I do have a question for kind of the group. And I hope this is okay. I have these, I'm we want to give these to a librarian or multiple librarians. These are for cataloging of rare books. We have about 4,000 of them. And we don't catalog. So if anyone's interested, can you please contact me or John Crossnow? Because yeah, they're basically you put them in the rare books and we have so many of them that and we don't
Yep.
collect books so much anymore. So I would really like to pass them along because I know they're pricey.
Great. Thank you, Angie. And maybe if you want to, you could put your email address into
Absolutely.
chat and folks can get in contact with you or John Crossnow at UT Southwestern if they have need or interest in grabbing those from you. Thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely. Thank you for letting me, Christy.
No problem. Anybody else have any questions or announcements, things to share? Okay. We'll wrap it up there. We'll see you again next time for our final forum of the year, if we don't see you before then. So thanks everybody for joining and have a good rest of the week.